Good rising, family. Play a little Yada Yada 7 real fast. We're waiting for some people to come on in. Psalms 121, sung in ancient Hebrew. Haven't done it live for a little while. Yes, it's definitely a beautiful day today. So much going on, but so little understanding. So much going on, but very few avenues to hear the truth. You know, you keep hearing, listening. I don't listen to very many videos anymore. They just regurgitate the same things over and over. You know, it doesn't matter what facts say. You know, whatever the facts are, the vast majority of the other nations, and even plenty of people even in our own nation, you know, they don't take into account any of the facts that are coming out, and they just stick with the same script that they've had the whole time. And, you know, you would think that, as the Most High said, at the end, he was going to give us more knowledge and understanding. Well, I would think that would be our responsibility to take that new knowledge and understanding and actually apply it to what's going on. And the vast majority of the world is not doing that. You know, I've been talking about Kyrie a little bit, and even Kanye. Where are they at now? You know, I said they're back into doing many of the things they were doing before. And, you know, many people who were exposed to this information got it. And that's about it. They heard about it, a little bit about it, but then that's as far as they went with it. You know, that's about as far as they went with it. Of course, you know, the Most High uses whoever he wants, and he definitely used them to get, you know, this is your last call. This is your last opportunity to get this information. But where are they at now? What are they teaching? How are they growing? How are they showing the people, you know, about the things that are going on here at the end? Where's all that? You see what I'm saying? It's just nothing but more and more distractions. You know, just like, I'm sorry, but you know, the whole thing with Russia and Ukraine, all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're going to get rid of Zelensky and we're going to appoint another general to be the leader now. I was like, so you guys get to run, like usual, run everything into the ground. You know, your tactics didn't work with Zelensky. You just funneled all this money, right? All these weapons over there to his country. And now that you're done with them, there's no accountability, no nothing. It's just, okay, we'll just get rid of him and get a new person in there. And we'll just go ahead and continue with what we were doing before and just put a new, fresh face on it. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Looking at all these stories that keep coming out. Oh, well, now Russia has, you know, a reason. They have, you know, they're laying out their reasons as to why they can attack NATO countries because, you know, they found out that a drone was piloted from Scottsdale, Arizona, and that was the one that actually attacked Russia on its homeland. I think you guys already knew that from jump. You already knew that Ukraine does not have that type of technology. So it's not like it's something new. Right? Zelensky's the man of the year, exactly. You know, so it's like you keep hearing, oh, hey, you know, you get these other guys on their channels. I crack up with, you know, because we're moving into Hanukkah season, Feast of Lights, and all of a sudden you get all these Christians talking about Hanukkah, and that's when they're going to get raptured away, and you know, because of the things that have happened in the past. I was like all of a sudden, you know, they're going to do. So which one is it? You doing Christmas or you're doing Hanukkah now? You know, which one is it? And as you can see, we keep bringing out more and more information, more and more new information. We start making more and more connections. And what do we hear from them? Crickets. Crickets, just like the video yesterday. I mean, hello, that's straight, you know, it's straight biblical information just in that picture, you know, showing how, you know, Jacob had dominion. He had a kingdom. Esau had his opportunity to get his blessing. He wasn't going to destroy everything that Jacob had, so he just going to build over it. And that's exactly what you see. Very shallow understanding. And you know, I said, and that's how it is. Very shallow understanding. And now that the Most High is giving us more and more understanding, you know, the other nations are even more quiet. Their silence is deafening. Their silence is deafening. Thank you to the moderators for coming in and taking care of business. We appreciate you. You know, that picture tells it all. Well, and they're talking about Hanukkah now for selfish reasons. They're talking about they're talking about Hanukkah because of the tetrad and the dates and how the dates line up, and they think that all has something to do with them. You know, that has something to do with them getting raptured up out of here. I was listening to Paul talking about that, like, well, if we're still here, if we're not raptured away, you know, and it's like, you still on that, huh? You guys are all still on that rapture thing, you know, like, what exactly? I said, what exactly has your Christian religion done to deserve to be raptured away? And they're going to say, well, of course we haven't done anything, but we believe in Jesus. I'm like, well, you know what? You believing in that white Jesus that was made up? You see, you seen that picture yesterday? White Jesus came with all that superficial stuff at the top. All those houses that were built over, you know, all those other great societies. That's when your white Jesus showed up. So please, you know, I said that has nothing to do with when those ancient records were written. Nobody was studying white Jesus at that time. So you keep hearing them, like I said, you keep hearing you know, you don't hear the Gentiles changing their tune on anything. And it's crazy because they're still trying to use Revelation, the book of Revelation, and the horses being released and everything else, and talking about how that's happening right now or it's going to happen here in the future. But they, again, have refused to acknowledge the fact that they brought death and destruction worldwide. They were playing the part of all of those horses of the apocalypse already. They've assumed those positions when they went worldwide and were destroying all the other nations. And see, now we're learning how deep this destruction is. This destruction wasn't just in Africa. This destruction wasn't just so-called America. You know, this destruction, we were over in what you call Asia. They were doing things over there. You know, they were erasing us over there as well. You know, it's been a worldwide takedown. The live's already freezing. Hopefully not freezing for all you guys. Oh, good. So like I said, you know, it's just amazing to see how everything is working out. You know, it's amazing to see how everything is working. You know, like I said, time is short. How is it possible that we can continue much longer here? You know, how is it possible to continue much longer in this society? You know, there has to be big changes because, you know, like I said, I mean, the way things are going, every day it's getting worse and worse. They have absolutely, I mean, every day you're seeing they have no truth in them whatsoever. And I have seen so many videos popping up lately talking pretty much about like a lot of so-called black people attacking the Hebrew Israelites. You know, why I'm not a Hebrew Israelite, why I don't agree with the Hebrew Israelites, why the Hebrew Israelites are a cult. You know, I said, now it's just funny how you guys, all these people are coming out and attacking the Hebrew Israelites, but they're not talking about anything about their church history. Not talking about, you know, the church history. I said, before you talk about Hebrews who've just come on the scene recently, why don't you actually go out and talk about these churches and talk about their history? Talk about actual facts and things that they've actually have done and been doing and continue to do. Yep, it's all propaganda and smoke and mirrors. It's all these different things they want to talk. They want to talk about everything except for what they've done. You know, and that's why I like talking about pagans. Yep. People say, oh, you're a pagan? I guess so. You know, I said, if that's what you want to call me, I said, because we don't follow these religions. I said, but you know, you might want to make sure that before you start calling these people names and using these titles, that you actually go and do a little research of what it means. I said, because most of these people, you know, are following a religion they know nothing about. And that's exactly Pandora Krum. They don't know their own church history. They walk around as if, you know, they have a great history and they've done all these wonderful things, but they have not looked at their history and they refuse to even talk about their history. You know, we've been talking about, I've been doing some research on portals, and that picture was actually from an article that was a couple of years old. Might end up doing a video on it, or we'll see. But it was a pretty good one because it was talking about Jacob's ladder. And it was talking about how, you know, when the Most High was giving manna to the people, I want to say he had a portal from the third heaven that skipped past the second heaven and actually came down to us. So, because I guess the demons were at the second heaven, and in order to keep them from, you know, messing with the food or whatever else, he had a portal that had the manna going from the third heaven down to us. And, you know, it's like there's all this information about portals all over the place. Now, the churches, because, you know, these portals have nothing to do with them, will relegate all that down to magic. You know, oh, that's just magic. That's magic. And it's like, and our people have just, you know, dismissed all this information. They've dismissed all this understanding because the churches have said, you know, have come up with these negative titles for things. You know, and, you know, you're talking about portals, and it's like, it's pretty amazing because it talks about these portals being all over the place. Portals being all over the place. But what that was talking about was when I say Jacob was sleeping, he was watching the angels going up and down the stairs, which was actually up and down the portals. And the portal was, you know, the angels were taking prayers up to the Most High, okay, through these portals, and then bringing down like the responses, the bringing down the responses of the prayers down to down to the people. So then you start thinking about the book of Enoch, and remember how when we were going through the time of the 70 shepherds, and our people were, if you remember the story, were praying to the Most High, and the angels were going back and forth and taking the prayers up to the Most High, right? Well, the Most High wasn't answering them, but wasn't answering the prayers at that time, but the angel was depositing, the prayers that we were sending up, up to heaven at that time. So like I said, it's just amazing to think about, like, would those be the same kind of portals that was going on with Jacob's ladder? Taking a look at the comments here. But the church, like I said, the church has hidden all this information, and all these people have totally been willing to just ignore all this information, because the church has said, we don't agree with that. We don't agree with that. That's not true. But were they even around? Have they had access to these portals? Has the Most High been dealing with them so they could actually get, understanding about these portals? I mean, we already know that that's not true, that they weren't. So therefore, if they didn't have access to these portals, then why would we even be listening to them saying what's good, what's not, what's accepted and what's not? And like I said, and the Most High is really exposing them right now, so you can see, how little that they know and how little they want to talk about. Like we've been saying for years, they're still stuck on the Bible only. And it's like, none of these people have ever proven that we're stuck reading only the scriptures that these churches have approved, the church fathers, as you say, I haven't been hearing anything but what the rabbis have been saying. So checking out your comment right there. I saw Paul trying to break down a little bit of scripture and talking about, them coming back for Judah, coming back for Ish and everything else. And just like, hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion. We're going to see real soon about the facts. Yeah, with these portals, true. Yeah, and definitely the world is trying to turn, the awakening into a joke. Oh, okay, you got to go through them to get the knowledge. Yeah, okay, right? Always trying to make sure that they're the ones on top, and they're the ones that are controlling things. Nothing new. Checking the comments. The comments are kind of coming through my phone really weird, where they're popping up like not normal. Yes, they said the trickery has been crazy. They say I have a book, The Secrets of the Illuminati, and I've read about this before, but They were talking about the cities in Antarctica and how in one of the rooms they have portals, or it's like a room with like a television or whatever else, but it's connected to all the tunnels, and that through those tunnels or through that room, they can pretty much teleport to anywhere. They can go teleport anywhere in the world, and they can actually teleport through time. Now, if they can actually do that, I don't know if they've heard people who actually can control it can actually do that, you know. So we're going to see soon enough. So we're going to see, I don't know if they've had access to any of that stuff. You know, they hear stories about, you know, the technology that that is present, and then they try to, you know, make it seem like they've got access to it, you know. God of War got that in it too. Yep. We said, you know, as you can tell, like I said, they've taken so much of this information, you know, and they put it into shows. Said that Troll movie was really good, and like one of the subscribers was saying that the Troll was just, you know, was crying and just wanted to go home to his kids, to his family. You know, and they demonize that. You know, they destroyed his home, built on top of it, you know, put him like in a prison inside of a mountain. He gets out and he's trying to make his way back home, and they try to demonize him. I believe you just, yes or all, you gotta have a particular gene to works a lot of this stuff. But yeah, they just try to make it sound like that was something new they would come in and build on top of, you know, these ancient sites. But we know why they do that. You know, I said they do it because they know about the ley lines and know about the power in these certain areas, and they're trying their best to tap in to the power in certain areas. That's exactly why they build on top of old structures. Yeah, I saw that. The tribulation hadn't started yet. Yeah. You know, it's like I said, the only way you can believe that is if you just ignore their history. You know, I said hundreds of millions, if not billions of people being enslaved and being killed. You know, that's not part of a tribulation. I like that they tell the truth in fiction so they can mock it. Very true. And like I said, and that's exactly it. How do these people? I don't know, man. I said I don't know how you can live with yourself, you know, just ignoring all of your history. You know, ignoring all the things that your churches have done. still talking about how you love your country, you love your church, you love your Jesus Christ, you love your religion, but then you refuse to look at any of your history, you know. And you start getting into these other books like Enoch, you start getting into Jubilees and Jasher, you start to see pretty much things that would be magical. You start to see high technology and things that cannot be easily explained away. Nope. No, they're not. They can't handle the truth. They're not supposed to. So they're going to see the truth soon enough, though. You know. And something about, I shared that last video, and it was a really good video. So just going back and checking out a few more of the brothers' videos, I said, because got like now you're starting to get into some more higher or deeper information, understanding. And I think I said it's very important that we start to think about, you know, these deeper things. Shared it from Neophyte Dag, you know, and something that kind of resonated with me was definitely starting to vibrate on a higher plane, vibrate at a higher level, you know, and starting to think about the, you know, the spiritual aspect of things. You know, and that we are spirits, and that's something that we need to really be concentrating on and vibrating at a higher level. You know, I think a lot of the things that these other nations do, they do them to keep us vibrating at a low level. You know, I said they're going to keep us, trying their best to keep us vibrating at a lower level, concentrating on just, you know, getting revenge. You know, everything's about revenge and repayment. You know, and really we need to take care of ourselves individually. We need to start to, you know, bring up our vibrational status, you know, on an individual level. Concentrating on love, loving each other, loving ourselves, loving the Most High. You know, to concentrate on those positive aspects in order for us to vibrate on a much higher level. In order for us to repair our DNA and our RNA. You know, he explained it much better than I could. That's why I shared the video. He gets into a lot of deep things with, you know, the keys of Enoch, you know, the Thoth, and a lot of other books. You know, and that's how it should be. You know, Most High's got like a lot of, you know, brothers and sisters actually getting into different things, and in order for us to start tapping into this other information. It's not all about just, you know, getting on the Gentiles' ass the whole time. I said, because that's very easy to do. You know, a lot of that's very low-lying fruit, and we got to make sure, like I said, we're working on each and every one of us. The gathering points, yes, exactly. You know, Most High is giving knowledge and understanding to different people in order for us to bring this information together, in order for us to get ourselves together and get ourselves ready. You know, I says we're not taking these bodies with us. You know, I said we're going to be getting spiritual bodies. So therefore we need to be working on our spiritual journey as well. You know, it talks about that in the Nag Hammadi, you know, how we give this body back to the demons that had created it, because they didn't know that we have another body, a spiritual body, and that's what we need to be, you know, getting ourselves prepared for. That's why, like I said, when I'm blessed to see videos that, you know, go into deeper subject matter, I'll definitely want to share them. You know, and for whoever wants to, you know, go into that and check those things out, you know, that's what we should be doing. All praises. You guys have all been a blessing to me as well. I said, hey, I'm tired just like everybody else. I'm tired of looking at these people. Tired of looking at, them being in charge. Robin, you can look in the community section. Great things are definitely coming. But you said it's hard because like I said, the more information you get, the more understanding you get, the more you see, even like within our own people, how a lot of people are, like I said, they have agendas. They only want to teach certain things. Still pushing Africa. Not saying that we didn't have anybody in Africa, but they're not even talking about the Americas. Yep, looking for a new heaven and a new earth, exactly. So if the other nations and people, that are like us are worried about, trying to preserve their lives here, prepping for everything here, so be it. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I need strength from the Most High. I just said, look in the community section, Robin 29. It's right there. It's the last one I put up. Moving into our Feast of Lights, it's all working with these dates. As you can see, how the Most High has been working with putting our story in the stars where they could not manipulate it. Definitely, they can't attack history. Well, they've been rewriting it, but now it's being exposed, and now they're just ignoring it. Now they're ignoring, like who did this? They're the ones ignoring things. Like they're the ones that didn't do all this stuff. Very true. I'm definitely tired of hearing our story from other nations, because they're always, giving us their opinion of how things were, and you're not allowed to have your own opinion, Definitely changing the words in the dictionary. Yep. Thank you, Ancient Garden. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't even listen to them anymore as far as trying to break down stuff. It's just amazing to hear like all these people all of a sudden wanting to talk about Antarctica, the things that they're finding in Antarctica, stuff like that. It's amazing. Maybe they've been talking about this whole time. I just didn't see it, but it's amazing how a lot of people are now coming out with a lot of this information. and just watching the same stories that they've had this whole time. You know, they've had the same stories this whole time, and now it just shows you that, you know, when we were asleep, you know, they could just come up with all this stuff, and no one ever questioned them. And that's the only way that, you know, their stuff works, is if the children of the Most High are asleep, and we just are easily, you know, manipulated. Because as soon as the Most High gives us that spirit and wakes us up, I says you can see how we can just see right through all their lies, and how quickly, you know, they don't even try to explain it anymore. Which, like I said, then should open you up to being able to look at many other books and be open to the spirit to download information and understanding to you. Very true, Pandoricum. They're scrambling to find something to say. The one guy I've shared before, he kind of looks like pretty boy, you know, kind of looks like Jesus, with the long hair, white dude. He's because he's left Christianity, and he has just been blasting these churches. And he was sharing a little clip about the slave Bible, and it was like they're pretty much talking about how they just manipulated the Bible. They took all these books out, took all this information out. You know, they're talking about how the churches are all about that money. And he starts breaking stuff down because, hey, dude, he was in it. He knows. So, you know, it's just amazing to watch, because Most High put a spirit on him to expose these people and expose, you know, all the stuff. I mean, it's like their own people are exposing them now. NFL flag football next year. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, like I said, so he's brought a lot of good information, and he's got other people just talking about, you know, the churches and the Christmas and all about the money and everything else. And like I said, just hey, these are the times that we're in. You can see us as a people growing and getting into different subject matter. You can see them as a people stuck. You're starting to see them, you know, stuck. You're starting to see them trying to manipulate people that look like us to go out there and make videos attacking the Hebrew Israelites. All the while they have ignored their own history. It's like, bro, you're not gonna talk about the Hebrew Israelites, you know, who've just barely come on the scene, and then not even deal with your own history. You know, Most High has given us information about the subterranean world. You know, making those connections for us, showing us how they've been hiding all this information, how the Psalms 83 has come together to keep us away from these areas. Right? You know, the Most High has been making all these connections. But you had to be, you know, but you couldn't be afraid to break away from the norm, because you know, as soon as you break away from the norm, you're going to get attacked. But then it gets to a point where they can't really keep attacking, because that's just bringing more heat and bringing a lot more people to see attention to that information. And since they really can't explain it away, they just try their best to ignore it. All right, family, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go today. It was good spending some time together, sharing a little time together. May the Most High bless everyone that's here. May the Most High continue to keep you and keep you safe and keep you growing and keep you next to Him and cover you in these crazy times. All praise is the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom, family.